You know, when we say that we need to be like, have a childlike wonder, even when we're older.
Right.
Because that's kind of ingenuity that we're actually lacking. Because you're gonna see bad in everything or suspicion in everything you do. You know what I'm saying?
Right, you bet I do. Yes.
Because if you engage with somebody with the same childlike curiosity, I mean, how much you gotta know about that person, what kind of relationship you're going to establish, you know?
And a lot of it is attitude, how you approach things, either positive attitude or negative attitude. And we're the ones who have total control over that. Nobody creates our attitude for us. We get up in the morning and decide today's going to be a good day or today's going to be a bad day.
Yeah.
We can't blame it on anybody else. It's up to us, and it's our attitude.
Our mood. We can control it.
Yep.
So when you say some days are better than others, this is my favorite thing that you actually taught me, because this is incredible.
Yeah. All days are good, just some are better. And
that's where I was about to ask, like, what's your recipe for being happy every time? Because you always say you are great, sometimes even better.
But again, it's just an attitude. It's how you think. It's how you put things together. You can decide every day what it's going to be like, Even if bad things happen, hey, I'm learning some stuff. I just figured a few things out there. I'm not going to do that again because, But it's all in how you approach life. Let's have fun. Let's enjoy it. Let's learn from it.
But do you think happiness is a good metric to go about and live your life?
Say it again.
Do you think happiness is a good metric to live your life?
Oh, yes.
Happiness.
Yes. Absolutely.
So that's the same thing he said last time.
Well, because I am not gonna lie, I got inspired by him. Like, whenever I'm around people and I have a wrong day, I feel about like, well, let's just change attitude. Let's just try to change my mood and pretend I'm good. And usually it works. Like, when I'm in a bad mood, I'm having a bad day, and I go to people, I'm not like, oh, I'm so bad, I'm gonna be mad at you. I'm just trying to be like, forget about that, become happy.
Right.
And my day turns, and those people are surprised, And I think that was a great lesson.
So that is positive mental attitude.
Right.
And that's great.
Right.
What I'm saying is seeking happiness as a way to live your life. Happiness. Because I think happiness is a fleeting feeling.
It is.
That it's momentary. It comes and goes. You cannot base your life on happiness alone. That's what I'm trying to say.
It's an emotion.
It's an emotion, yes.
Yes, I would say that, but also it's a good emotion.
Yes.
And you can generate that emotion.
Yes.
And what is fun? Is fun an emotion, or is fun an experience?
I think it's an experience. Is it?
Well, maybe we should say we should have fun in life then. I understand emotions. That's another thing too. When you make plans, never base them on emotions.
Correct.
Plans should always be based on fact.
Objective.
Yes.
Same with shopping.
Not emotions. And people get that fouled up all the time. You make some plans based on today's emotions. Tomorrow the emotions change. The plans are wrong.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't do that. Make plans based on facts. And, okay, we want to live our life and have fun.
But you're a man. We are men. Yep. So we think very methodically about how we go about things, the way we go about things. For the ladies, it will be a little bit different.
Right.
Because they're more emotional.
Right. They respond to emotional things much more than men do.
Yeah.
Men figure if I turn the crank like this is what's going to happen. Where a gal, in general, will say,
if I turn it like this.
But I feel this, And that's okay. I mean, when I was in business, whenever I was going to make a major decision, I always ran that decision by my wife. What do you think about this?
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
And
but you know why? Because women have better intuition.
They look at things differently than
Yes.
a man does.
Yeah.
And invariably, she'd come up with some things I had never thought about.
Absolutely.
But it
agree.
also needs to be a person who understands you and not gonna judge you.
Right.
That's
Right. It's that best friend
Oh, yeah.
relationship. You know, and I mean, men and women, I think, fit together like a glove, and you need both of them to
Exactly.
cover everything.
We need both of them.
Yes, and
And I heard this sentence: if one gender loses, they both lose.
that's right.
So we
There-
cannot have that.
When you're in a partnership with a friend or your wife or whatever the case may be, you make a decision together, and then you go on down the road. If it fails, hey, you made the wrong decision. No. We made the decision together. We win together and we fail together. It's never you, it's us, because we made this decision together. And you don't point fingers at, hey, you did it wrong.
That's a great thing, yeah.
That happens.
So
we do it
maybe this
together.
answer our question about advice for marriage,
For relationship, yeah.
relationship, marriage. whatever it
It's
is.
us.
Yeah.
It's we.
You bet.
Two people.
You bet. We're in this together.
yeah.
And we plan together, we execute together,
No matter
we win
age,
together, we lose together.
whatever.
Yeah.
Just two people.
And I think it's much more fun with two people.
Totally.
I mean, you can share experiences with two people. When it's just yourself, it's a little tougher.
Well, yeah, because when something good happens to you, the first thing you want to do is tell somebody, right?
Right.
So
Right.
that's something that is,
Yes.
it's great to have. Like otherwise, what do you do with it? Let's say you win a lottery, but you got nobody to enjoy that with.
Right.
You can buy friends. You can buy yourself a night. You can buy a house, but not a home. You cannot buy peace of mind.
No.
So
That's
some
true.
things you cannot buy.
and you will probably have some people attached to you because of your money.
And you will have,
But
yes.
that's the hard part.
You'll have fourth and fifth cousins come out of the
Yeah, it might be hard to just like have real person next to you.
Fourth and fifth cousins. Yes.
No, I think relationships are a very good thing. And you have to work at them, but they're great. They're just great.
That's what I was listening to podcast when one actress, Miranda Cosgrove, she's very young. I don't know if you guys know about her, but she's super popular in social media. She has like dozens of millions of followers.
Okay.
So she was mentioning that like I have a hard time to find a partner. I went on Tinder. I went there, but she was trying to like find somebody, not telling them who is she.
Right.
But she still had a hard time because people like recognize and like, how am I supposed to find somebody?
People are not gonna like you for who you really are, but
Yeah.
for the character you represent.
Mhm.
They
So
like-
that's
They like you for what you could do for me.
yeah.
And that's not that's not what you build a relationship on. But relationships are hard. They're hard. And they can break your heart sometimes. But
Do you remember a story where somebody broke your heart on?
well, yeah, there were times. But
Times.
we're not going to talk about them now, though.
All right. Now, well, we don't. No, we don't.
No comment.
No. So just say no comment.
No comment.
No comment.
But also, relationships are really what everything is all about. You'd be hard going through this life alone.
Do you think life's meaning can be found in love somehow?
I think that'd be a big part of it. But there's other things to go along with love that enhance it and make it better. Things that you do, comments that you make. I like asking people to describe love to me. It's a very hard thing to describe.
Mm-hmm.
Is love a noun or an adverb or a verb? Is love action or is love a thing?
I think it's both.
It is both. And people have to recognize that. And if you stop one or the other, you don't have it anymore. It goes away.
The most famous phrase heard in divorces, I don't love you anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Right.
To me, it means I don't want to try with you anymore. I don't want to have anything with you anymore. I'm tired of you. I'm out. I'm looking for greener pastures. You know? So that's what really is. Now, you got cases where the relationship is impossible, where there's abuse. I understand that. I understand these cases. But most of the times, yes, there is something that can be done. You just need to put your selfish self away, I think, and think more in we, you know?
Yeah, I think also, do you agree that, you could have a relationship that may take a few steps back and you can, okay, hey, let's just be friends and have a relationship on a friendship level?
I could not do that.
Why?
Because I don't believe in deep friendship between a guy and a gal.
Why?
Because there is always that unsaid context. There is unspoken thing of,
Well,
I don't know.
I don't agree.
Well, are we talking about the same thing here, though? Well, you don't think there can be a deep friendship,
In a couple, yes.
but not.
But
between
there's the understanding that we share a home, that we go to bed together, that we love each other, and we can be friends. We tell each other our deepest secrets. We face together the biggest challenges.
Okay.
I'll lift you up when you're down. You lift me up when I'm
Okay,
down.
But now you're talking about a best friend.
No.
You're not talking.
I'm talking about a lover and a friend.
Well, to me, that would be a best friend.
It could be, yes.
Well, I mean, you got three.
Well, you don't go to bed with your best friend.
Why?
You could.
Well, that's not friendship anymore. You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying?
I hear what you're saying.
Okay. But yeah, that's why. Yeah, I'm.
But you would.
So you are saying that?
Wait a minute, we cut this part out of it.
No, we cannot. No.
Well,
this is
so
the best
you
part.
are saying that?
Like my girlfriend. She's my best friend. She's my lover. She's
Yeah.
my companion.
Yeah.
We share good experiences together.
Yeah.
We share a bed together. We have sex together. We tell each other that we love each other, that we want to be with each other. That's a love relationship and a friendship at the same time.
Are you
I
saying
think.
that's in addition to an acquaintance, a friend, and a best friend?
No, it's not acquaintance anymore.
Correct. Acquaintance is one type of relationship.
Yes.
A friend is another type of relationship.
Yes.
And a best friend is a third type of
Okay,
relationship.
yes, you're going in stages. Yes, I
Okay.
suppose so. Yes. However, I think that friendship and relationship, they can be together too.
So
Well, they're the same thing.
They can be, yeah. Yeah.
Well, they are.
They are. Yeah.
It's just that
so
there are different degrees of each one of those, of course.
I never thought about this deeply like I'm doing now, so I'm literally telling you as I'm finding out.
Off the top of your head.
Off of my ass.
So do you believe that other women can be your? I mean,
No, because I don't think so. I don't know. So I,
Well, 'cause I have many-
I have this best friend from college. The first day of college we met, it was me and her. Best friend. Not physically attracted to her, but she's my best friend, and she has that understanding too since the beginning. We went to college 3 years together, had the best conversation, deepest conversations, understood each other and everything. But there's always that underlying aspect that there's not going to be, it's not meant for a relationship. It's just friendship. You know what I'm saying?
I think we're talking about the same thing.
We're talking about the same thing.
I think we are. It's just different degrees of different things.
Yes.
And yeah, we're talking about the same thing.
Don, a friend is somebody that if you don't meet them for 5 or 10 years, you start talking to them and it's like time never went by.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And there are different degrees of those things, but I think, someone that you are really involved with, you live with them, you see them every day, you sleep with them and all those things, that's a degree of a best friend, very much toward the top of a best friend. Mm-hmm. But also you're going to have another best friend more toward the bottom that you maybe don't sleep with, but you still really understand each other, can have very deep conversations, and I'm right in tune, I know right where you're going, but that's still a best friend. But I think there are degrees of best friend, as in anything, and the type of up above that top best friend, you don't have many of those.
No.
Mm-hmm. In your whole lifetime, you may only have one. But they're all different.
Yeah.
They're all.
What's your take on that? Can you be friends?
Well, yeah, I had many friends in college or before, like with other girls, and I think it's possible, but you need to be clear. Because I had also like some other friendships when I was like, there was something untold,
Yes.
So there's the thing, just to like talk together.
Yes.
And just set things up. If it's not gonna work out, just But I think I would say it's possible if both sides agree.
If you have if you both start from the premise, this is just talking. Nothing's gonna happen here. It's just we're gonna be best friends. We're gonna tell each other stuff, but that's it. There's a boundary. That's it, right? You know what I'm saying?
Well, if you're married to another gal, but you have another gal over here that you can have deep conversations with.
Do you think would that be fair to your partner?
I think they both should know about each other. Yeah. If you're trying to keep this one secret, that's not fair.
That's not fair.
But if you know women as much as I do, you know that one would be jealous of the other.
Might be.
Well,
because if you spend time with...
That's just certain kinds of women, though. I mean, I think a woman can have, okay, he's got a good friend there he talked to, and that's... But if you have the right kind of relationship, that's all it's going to be is talk.
I think it all needs to be clear.
Yeah.
Just say the truth every time.
Yeah.
But okay, we're talking about mature individuals, understanding individuals.
Okay.
That's it.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes, I would agree with, yeah.
Yes.
If you have someone who is suspicious by nature, it's not going to work.
Yes.
Not going to work.
There you go.
But if you have someone who is understanding, yeah, they're a friend.
Well, we were talking about but it's not. It doesn't happen very often like this scenario. So it's it's depending on people.
I think it's more inclined to happen when you get older.
Okay.
When you're younger, you're more possessive of things. I think that includes people.
Well, it's when you're younger, it's so many people around and like.
Yeah.
So that comes to this question, Don. Some say that jealousy is a wasted feeling.
Is it what?
Wasted feeling? What is your take on jealousy? This is not one of the questions that we initially thought to ask, but I'm just really curious to know about this. Because as a young man, I had difficult times, when you can be really attached and possessive when you're younger. And it's really difficult for you to let go and to find reason that each individual makes their own choices. And if that's their choice, you just let them go. Is that correct?
I think jealousy, this is probably a young person's emotion more than an older person.
Oh, yeah.
Not necessarily, though. I mean,
Not necessarily,
there's so
but
many.
in most cases, I would think it would be, because I think as you get older, you understand what jealousy is, and you can't possess people. You can't do that. They
to give them space.
Yeah, they have to be free to do their thing.
Yeah.
And if you're the right kind of person and you're attracted to them, great. But if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You can't be jealous because that's not going to work. Therefore, a person who thinks about it, as you get older, a jealous person you probably would stay away from, because that's just all kinds of pitfalls there that are going to get you into trouble.
And especially when you're alone with your thoughts, that can play you some tricks.
When you don't know, you always assume the worst.
Yes.
Always.
Yes.
You will always assume the worst, and that's not good. Not good. Communicate, talk, find out. And if they're a true friend, it'll work out great. If it's not a true friend, then you're going to have problems. And then a decision has to be made. I think as you get older, you become very conscious of the friends that you have, and you want to hang on to them. And you're also very particular. Maybe I don't want to say the word choosy, but you contemplate, do I want to be a friend with this person? Because you don't want to get in those pitfalls anymore. Emotional pitfalls are just very, very hard to go through. Very, very hard. And I think those are things you just need to talk to your friend and get them out in the open, discuss them, let them know where you're coming from. Hopefully they'll understand. But relationships they can be very difficult. Very, very difficult.
Any red flags we should be aware in relationships?
Oh, man.
Friendships. What do you...
So do you know there's the honeymoon phase that can last from 6 to 9 months in a relationship, where you're willingly to set aside any bad signs or red flags that you see in a person because she's beautiful, because she's hot, especially because, hey, you might have good sex with this person, so that overrides everything. So you're willing to set that aside.
Well, but this is
that is true. There is a honeymoon phase in a relationship,
but it happens with everything. It always happens because you have this part, it's beginning. You're excited.
Yes.
The same when you get the new car.
Yeah.
You're super excited at the beginning, and then I want another one right now.
Don, what are you gonna say about that? Well, I really want to hear that.
I think now as you get older, you guys are young, so you're not there yet. But as you get older, there's such a thing as you love the person, not the appearance. You love the person. The person is inside there that you can talk to.
But you pick her because when you're young, or I don't know, you choose that person. You're attracted to that person initially at first from the way she looks. He or she.
Exactly.
Looks.
That's why some people
looks are an overriding thing when you're young.
Okay.
When you're older,
the wits.
The looks go away.
And the wits leave.
And the person is still there. Who is that person? That becomes primary thing, who that person is. And just, looks take a back seat. the person becomes much more important.
But nowadays it's all about like
But that's
makeup.
that's what brings the disaster after a year, Don, because you overlooked so much stuff just because the sex was too good and she was so hot that
or he.
or he that you said like, oh, she's a little bit aggressive, you know. Oh, she has this strange tick with an eye. She has a little bit of a crazy eye, but whatever. She's so hot.
I'll live with it, right? I'm going to tell you guys.
You know, but then the real issue is when you gotta live the real life once all the charm is gone. You know, you really like you can clearly see that person for who she really is.
That's where you can come back what he said before. Like if you get to a relationship with your best friend,
that's it.
that's might be
That's it.
Because let's say I know the girl for like 3 years and I know all the bad things, all the good things, and we decided to date together. So
But-
it's like you know what I mean?
Yes, but you know what's the other trap, Don? Okay, young, high testosterone level guys. Girl, crazy, whatever.
OnlyFans.
So the only thing you want to do is mate, have sex, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Mate is not a good way, but yeah, in reality, yes, because it was
But
meant
you
for,
have this
it was
feeling
meant for
too.
conception, for procreation initially, correct?
That's how
Right.
people were created.
So you kind of override that the best friend part because there's little communication, there's little knowing each other, and you jump directly to sexual
PDA.
to satisfaction. And then there's this thing about men, Don. Somebody said once, the men have enough blood to work the brain or down there.
I understand what you're saying. All the blood drains away.
blood
They don't think. Well, guys,
So I think that's the secret. The secret is, I don't know. If you say, oh, you got to abstain from physical intercourse and get to know that person, unless if you want to build a deep relationship, for example.
right.
And then that comes later. But how you gonna make that work? I don't know. I don't have an answer for that because everybody's different, and but they might save you some problems later because be together 3 years, get married, first kid, second kid, boom, divorce after 9-10 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's because you skipped some steps.
Well, right. See, just knowing that is a situation, you're a big jump ahead of most people. You know, when you're young, recognize, hey, you know, looks, sex has got it. I mean, that's foremost in our minds. Just knowing that will make you think about it a little bit differently. But when you get older, I mean, you don't see many beautiful old people. You don't see many beautiful or any handsome old guys or any beautiful old ladies. It's that inner person that you're looking at. And that's a whole different ballgame. Whole different ballgame.
It's interesting.
You know, how well you mesh together, your likes, your dislikes. It's a different ballgame. I know what you're saying. I mean, I was young once too, and it's different. Yeah, looks are the whole thing. But when you get older, that's not true anymore.
So they say, come for the look, stay because of the heart.
That's right. Yeah.
There is something about that.
Just knowing that stuff exists, you're way, way ahead of most people. Most people don't even think about that. It's just satisfaction right now and down the road. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard. I mean, this whole life itself is built upon the fact of keeping the human race rolling, keeping it going. That's what we're here for. to have children to keep the human race on its way.
So there is this poet, Italian poet from the 1500s, Dante Alighieri. He wrote the Divine Comedy.
Yeah.
And there is a passage that he says, "You were not meant to be brutes and seek bodily pleasures. You are meant to follow virtue and knowledge." And I think there's so much truth in that statement.
It is.
Because the human that elevates over the earthly pleasures and elevates towards something that is timeless and that can be transmitted, there's virtues and knowledge that is powerful. You know what I'm saying? So always I come to that every time, because there is something more other than the physicality of it, or because I mean, in the end, Don, we're humans. We're made out of flesh.
Yep.
However, I don't know how to say this, like to control the urges. I don't know if it's even correct to say that, because it's, but at the same time, you gotta do something other than focus on that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. I mean, when I was younger, the divorce rate was 50%.
And how much is now?
What is now?
It probably is at now, but if you think about it now, see, back in my day, to live together was virtually unheard of. You just didn't do that. Where today it's a fairly common accepted thing.
Mm-hmm.
I am assuming that today, if you figure that people who live together and people who get married, it's still a 50-50 deal probably. Or pretty
Yeah,
close,
yeah. I'm pretty sure it
close to
is.
it.
I'm
But
pretty
this
sure
is a
it
lot.
is.
This is a lot.
Yeah, but I think a lot of it is what Benito says, where priorities get mixed up.
Yeah, but this is true. Like you're excited at the beginning, but you cannot commit to be with this person. So you really need to be like in a deep relationship.
So from the statistics here, it says that according to American Psychological Association, approximately 40 to 50% of first marriage end in divorce. The divorce rate for second marriages is even higher, with approximately 60 to 67% of second marriage
Really?
ending in divorce.
Hmm.
So what are we doing? Like, okay, I got divorced the first time. Have I learned something? Apparently not.
Probably not. No.
I don't know. It's this thing, like, I wouldn't rush into another marriage, like, right away. I don't know. It's like, I don't, so.
Well, you even need to think about what is marriage. Mm-hmm. You can go to the state and get a piece of paper that says you're married.
Yes.
You go through a ceremony, you're married, sign your signature and all that stuff. But you can also say, I am committed to this person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need a piece of paper to tell me that.
Absolutely.
I'm committed to them. I'm going to be with them. We're going to go through everything together, good and bad, and we're going to be committed. Now, is that a bad deal? I don't think so. Do you have to have a piece of paper that tells you that? As far as Don is concerned, if you're not going to be raising children and just have a commitment to each other, you don't necessarily have to have the piece of paper.
Yeah.
I think when you are going to raise children, then you probably need to have the piece of paper that says we're married. Because if something falls apart, there are certain legal ramifications that are dictated by that piece of paper that protect you as a mother and as a father. But if there's no children involved, and a lot of times no finances involved, in this day and age, nobody should be able to have children unless they want to.
So
Back when I was younger, didn't have birth control.
No.
They had what
Different
they call
time.
the rhythm method, and that You call those people parents.
So what is your take on marriage? Like you're in your 20s.
Yeah,
So what do you
I don't
think?
want to rush anything, so I need to be like 100% sure this is the person I want to be married to.
Do you believe in marriage?
I do. Yeah, it's kind of like because my parents are married for, I believe, over 20 years, and they're happy. They have like ups and downs, but if there is something to fix, they do that, and they go together to the life. You know,
but that's the thing that your generation, they endure.
That's how they taught
They don't
me.
bail out at the first,
Right.
because they may believe that they're missing out on something else outside of that relationship. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Their little word called commitment.
Yes.
We are committed to
That's
each
why
other.
they committed 20-something years
Yes.
ago to be together until the
Yes.
end, you know?
Yes.
And they were aware of that, and they loved each other
Yes.
super much. So they decided, you are the person I want to spend my life with. And they continue that.
And there is a great example for him too, a great lesson.
Well, that's what I've been taught.
Yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
I believe that if I find the appropriate person, I go for it.
However, you need to find the person that thinks like you do.
Yeah, that's true.
It's
And I think when you're young, a lot of people think there is a perfect life, there is a perfect marriage. When you get older, you realize that's not true. There are
There's always something what
there
comes
are
up.
no perfect things. There's always going to be some difficulties
Yeah.
that come in, and you have.
Well, but there are difficulties in everything you do.
yes, and that's the other thing, the belief that it's going to be a fairy tale, that everything is going to be smooth sails. No.
When you're in a relationship and a problem comes up, the first thing you want to ask yourself is this the hill I want to die on? Generally speaking, it is not. It's some little trivial thing that,
Emotions.
yeah,
You might be on fire.
I want my way, and if we can't do it my way, I'm going to get mad. And you know,
I mean, sometimes it's okay to split the difference.
yeah, I mean,
You know?
the solution to any situation is communication.
Yeah.
Sit down and talk about it.
But even saying, like, being humble enough to say, make me understand where you're coming from. Tell me, what do you feel? What do you mean?
Right.
What I can do to.
And you tell me the same thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like this. Let's try together to understand.
You're
what's the problem.
committed to solve the situation.
You're committed to solve the situation. You're not saying, the hell with you,
You're right.
I'm leaving.
I'm out of here.
Yep.
See,
Yeah,
we're
some
committed.
people are like getting crazy, but actually, I wouldn't say like when people get older, I wouldn't say like they change so much. You know? Do you think they change a lot? People?
I think people are always changing, but some of the basic things stay the
Yeah,
same.
that's what I'm saying. Like if you loved this person before, I think that might be a way to. I mean, not every time, but
Well, see, we're getting back to the definition of what is love. You know, you may have thought it was quotation marks love,
yeah.
but maybe it was something. Or maybe it was attraction because they look really nice, or they're really good in bed, or something. And that's not what we're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
We want to mesh up mentally how we think, how we respond to things, what our principles in life are. And that's what the dating process is for, is to learn those things, to learn about the other person. Can we make this work or can't we make it work? And I think as you get older, you think more about those things. You have other things to come in too, finances and everything else that get mixed up, but it's now knowing and understanding that other person that you want to spend time with.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to spend my life with you, man. We got to figure out.
So people go through change together.
Yes.
And they grow together through change, through hard times, through easy times. By talking about change, I wanted to ask you how did you deal with change in your life? Because you went through a lot in different phases of your life, from being a college student, from being a father, from being a husband, from being a business owner, from going through retirement and everything else. So how did you deal with change? And what recipe would you?
It's a tough question. I've always felt you need to have friends that span the ages. You need to have young friends, you need to have older friends. And all those people you're going to ask questions and ask them different, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Mm-hmm. But it involves communication. It involves talking to people. Changes are hard to handle if you aren't open to different things. You got to be open to change because we're always changing. You have to understand what's going on, look at it from different perspectives, and it's a hard question to answer, Benito. How to handle change. It happens to all of us. We can't get away from it.
Well, I'd say there's not a unique way, because according to each person's life experiences,
right,
they face change in different ways. Somebody might crumble under the weight of change. Somebody may be excited with change.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody doesn't know what to do at all with change, and they would just give up.
Depending on what changes it.
Give up and not change and hang on to the safety or something, So I think it's a very subjective answer.
Well, one thing about change, it happens slowly. Generally.
Sometimes.
Now, when you are married and you've been married for a long time and suddenly your mate dies, that's an abrupt change. And it isn't so much that the fact they died, everybody's going to die one time or another. It's the fact that you're going to miss them. Mm-hmm. You miss them as a person. You miss them to be able to talk to them. Those are the kinds of changes that are difficult. And other people can really help you get through those changes. In fact, I would say from my experience, other people become very important to help you get through those changes. Because they're radical. They change very quickly. And my wife and I had even talked about the fact, one of us is going to live alone for a while. Mm-hmm. One of us is going to die first.
Wait, so you didn't talk?
We talked about it.
Oh, you did?
We did talk about it. And I felt we really had things pretty well covered.
Okay.
But in reality, you don't. We thought we were at a 10 and we're really like a 3.
Yeah.
I mean, we weren't even close to what reality was.
That's what we said. You cannot plan directly.
Yeah. See, you go from being a couple to a single person. Overnight, literally, you become a single person. And I had all my friends were couples. I didn't have any single friends, but I was a single person. And I understand, it's easier not to invite somebody because they're a fifth wheel as to invite them and, okay, now what do we do with Don? And I understand that. That's okay. I don't have a problem with that. But you end up having to go out and get new friends who are single people because your married friends it's different. Suddenly you're different. But you have to literally go out and make a new life for yourself.
Face the change.
It changed.
Well, sometimes you don't really have a choice.
No, you don't. You don't have a choice. And there are a lot of things like that happen, that are very abrupt. Mm-hmm. But I think other people become very important. Your other friends, your other relationships that you have.
Support from them.
Yep. Don't be afraid to go out and talk about it. What do you think about this? That I'm experiencing this? What are your comments? That's when other people become very important in your life to help you over those changes.
Yeah.
And that's why it's important to have good friends, good best friends.
Do you think faith has something you could grab on, when something you can anchor yourself when you face the most difficult times in your life? God. How is your relationship with God? How's your relationship with faith?
I think God is a very important guy. Now, I look at my God as being a personal friend. I can talk to him anytime I want to. I can be walked in the woods and I can talk to him. He has the plan for my life. He's watching over me. I think it'd be very difficult if you didn't have faith in something. I mean, we're here in this world, and, I believe in creation. God is all-powerful. He can do anything he wants to do. He can create things any way he wants to create them. Scientifically, you can't point to it and say, hey, this is not right or this is right. Hey, God can do whatever he wants to do. He can make it whatever he wants to
Yeah,
do.
but even scientifically, if we can prove something through the laws of nature, we still need that. I think there is something divine in the genius of human beings to come up to that conclusion somehow. Even if they use measurable outcomes, if they use the scientific method to observe something, to create a hypothesis, to make an experiment, to find the result, and to prove their hypothesis. I think there's something divine in intelligence itself that gets you through that process to discover that thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So many people confound scientific knowledge with God, as we don't need God. We have science. But I don't think...
Especially there is so many religions like, Catholicism, and other...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I say you cannot find... there are some things you cannot explain with science alone. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, totally.
And then everybody has different beliefs.
Everybody has different beliefs, and I would say we need to respect their choices.
Right.
And
Right.
especially that they were born in different countries and they were taught different things. Like over there it's the religion A, over there it's religion B. And I would say just respect those people because they have their own beliefs as we do.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
it's hard to say, this is the answer. This is the right God. This is the things we should believe.
Yeah, I don't believe you can say that. Like, this is the right God. Who knows?
That's what I'm saying. We cannot because it's because other people on the other side of the world, in Japan, they
but I
believe
have my
different
God.
things.
This is my God. You may have another one, but this is the one that I talk to, or the one that helps me out. And it'd be awfully hard, I think, not to believe in some kind of supreme being. I mean, I don't think all this just happened by chance. Just the human body and how that all works together.
It's interesting.
Yeah, evolution, boy, that just happened by accident? I don't think so. And you go back in time, the Big Bang Theory and all this, and this. But I think there's
What is the spark? What was it?
Yeah, see, I think there's a law that says you can't create something from nothing.
Yes.
So somewhere back there, someone had to say, I'm going to do this. And that entity is God. So,
But why?
Well,
That is really like...
There are also people who think we're an animation.
Oh, we live in a simulation.
Yeah, we're in an animation right now.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I don't know. The Matrix.
Well, we can have our own answers, but
Sure.
we don't know what exactly is that.
We don't know what we don't know.
There's a little thing called faith.
Yeah.
You either have it or you don't. And
Yeah, you can believe, but if it's true,
Yeah.
you don't know.
Don't know.
Yeah, and I believe there is something true about what you say. Having faith gives you a different perspective to your life. It makes you look forward. It makes you look at the future in a way that things will be all right.
Correct.
That you will make it. Instead, not believing, it means that the hell with everything. Everything is going to go turn to shit anyways.
Right.
Why am I going to do this for?
That's the
Like
attitude.
nihilism, this self-destruction and not believing in nothing. What brings you to, I don't know, believing in false false gods or false things on this earth, you know. So it's like the Ten Commandments. When was it Moses that came from the mountain down?
Right.
And he brought the Ten Commandments, and he found his people that were adoring a statue of a cow. Was it that?
Yeah.
And
they were
then
worshiping something.
worshiping something else.
Yeah.
Because they stopped believing that Moses could come down and deliver the Ten Commandments, the Word of God, for example, you know. Yeah, it makes sense. And I think as the Bible is a moral guide for humanity, somehow make it, some people say they're just fairy tales or something.
Well, the Bible, most people say the Bible was written by man, but it was inspired by God. And the Catholic Bible has got a few more books than what the Lutheran Bible has got. But there are good things in the Bible, good principles.
The teachings.
Good examples. Yeah. It's just good stuff.
So I don't know what is it, but I feel like some things are just meant to be.
Yeah.
You know? I believe that we are here because that was supposed to be like this, you know?
We're
in this place.
The principles of life don't change.
Yeah.
They're the same for everybody.
I think some things are meant to be if you make them happen, though. You cannot just say, turn just to hope and faith.
You need to put an effort. Let's say you're practicing something and you want to become the best. You do your best, and if it's meant to be you want to be on the top. It's going to be like that, you know? Mm-hmm. I believe in that.
Yeah, I believe that too.
Yeah, nothing is going to come easy.
Nothing is going to come like
no. You have
from
to
the
work
sky.
for it and plan for it, and again, make it happen. Don't let it happen. You know, do the best you can, recognizing not everything is going to come to fruition.
Well, if we want to make the best videos ever, we need to just do that. Like, it's not going to happen if we don't do videos.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
I mean,
you got to start.
Certain
you got to start somewhere. Yep. Yeah. If you start somewhere, you're already halfway done.
Right.
Yeah. Because the hardest part is to start. It's with everything.
Right. See, you can sit and wish all day for something to happen, but until you do something, it's not going to happen.
I got this idea that I got inspired last time that I want to. That was my dream before. I want to get the guitar and learn how to play guitar.
Then you watched the singer Ed Sheeran, and he got even more convinced and said, "This is my destiny."
It makes you like inspired, like that it's possible that you can just take it and start doing that and make your dream. Like start maybe creating some music.
Well, you can be a guitar player, but then you can really be a guitar player.
Yeah,
someone who
make your own music, put your emotions to the music. That was always my dream. You know, I want to slowly keep.
Dreams are good. Their dreams are good.
You got to do something with them.
Yes, you have to make it happen.
Well, yeah.
Don't let it happen. Make it happen. Work at it.
That's pretty good.
What was your biggest dream in your life?
Probably to have a happy life, or as Benito would say, have a fun life.
And you made it.
Well, it's all degrees. You know? And, I would say Don has been very fortunate. He's had good friends, good people. Don has made some mistakes, but I think everybody does.
Everybody does.
You just move on, Two kinds of mistakes. The ones you can say, oops, I won't do that again because that doesn't work. And then there's the one you have to live with the consequences. You made a mistake.
The one you say.
There's some consequences. You have to live with those. You play with a chainsaw and cut off your fingers. Hey, you have to live with that. That was a mistake.
Yeah.
But others you can just
Some
walk
people
away.
say the amount you fuck around is correlated to the amount you find out. So he fucked around, he found out.
Yeah. You find out a lot of stuff. Try something, it might work, you know. But
Yeah.
sometimes it doesn't work, you know.
So, Don, what comes after this, after all of this? We talk about life, but what is death? What comes after?
Well,
In our limited wisdom, unfortunately, it's a one-way trip.
for this life here.
Yeah.
But I really believe that, you know, there is a life hereafter.
There is.
There is. And I will be there, and I will continue to have fun. And where is that going to be? Some people say it's going to be right here on this earth. And it will be a life without sin or a life without mistakes. It'll be a perfect life.
So do you think this is all preparation for something, for our next life? Or a teaching experience?
That's a good question. It is what it is. You know, we can speculate all kinds of things we want to speculate on, but this is what it is. We have a life here. We die. Then where do we go after that? We go to heaven.
Do you know what I think is the greatest mistake that people can do and not have lived a fulfilling life? Is knowing that they could have done an amazing job and they didn't even try.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Isn't that something sad to think about?
It is. It's very sad. You know, to waste a life and not do anything, very, very sad. You're better off to make some mistakes, but try something. Don't just sit around and let things go on by. You got to be involved. You got to recognize some things aren't going to go right. Some relationships will turn sour, but you will have some wonderful experiences, some wonderful relationships, and you'll have fun.
I think we need to be able to distinguish the wheat from the chaff.
Yep.
We all have talents.
What is really meaningful? What is really meaningful? If I go buy this TV, or if I go have an experience with my girlfriend, or have a good time with my kids, because that's the memories you'll carry with you, and they will carry with them.
There's an old saying that as you get older, you live on your memories, but you better have some memories to live on. You know, you better create some when you're young and create good memories to live with those memories as you get older. And I'll take experiences any day over things. If I can experience something, that's what you want to do. Experience it. Things, I mean, we can get along without things. Experiences are pretty important.
Yeah, but just being able to recognize what has priority in life. You know, what's important.
What is? What's important?
That depends for you. It's different. That depends for me. Depends for you.
Yeah.
Like at your age, my age, that's different. This is three different stages.
But life itself.
We double ages, 20, 40, 80. See that? It's crazy.
Yeah. What's important to me now is not important to you guys.
For me, this moment, this time talking, it's
Fantastic.
It's incredible. This is gold.
We've been waiting for that.
We've been waiting for a long time. It's
We
something
we planned that back in months ago.
Wow.
And we really thank you for you to being here and to give us.
We said it's going to happen.
It's going to be, and
We
I
are
said
going to-
it's going to be amazing because
Yeah.
it's.
We said we are going to do this, put effort.
Yeah.
And-
So this will be a memory. Like great.
Yeah, it's part of life, you know.
Part of life.
Part of life.
Many thoughts thrown to the camera will stay forever with us.
Yes.
If I turn on the camera.
So. So yeah.
No, it's a cliche and it's easy to say, you know, but really, we're here to have fun. You know, enjoy life, whatever that may be, but experience it, enjoy it to its fullest, and have fun.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I don't know of any other thing that can compete with that.
I don't think so.
It's kind of like your thing.
So we got one last question. This is going to surprise you.
I had another question. Maybe it's the same.
Well, go ahead.
How does it feel to be 88? What's your...
Okay, you got to say
You
this.
just turned.
You got to say this and say it, and you make us crack. Where you think about, when you're a man, no matter the age, what percentage you think about something?
What percentage?
Yes, what percentage of the time you think about something, even when you're older?
I think when you're young, sex occupies a lot of your thought.
Absolutely.
When you get older, it still occupies a lot of your thought. But I think there are, how do I want to put this? There are
That was not my last question.
the
by the way.
trip.
Okay.
The
Say
trip,
that straight into the camera over there.
The trip is really important along with the destination. But the trip. The trip is where you're having your fun. And then you get to where you're going, you're there. And you can look at it, anything you can look at the same way. It's the trip. Have fun during the trip. Experience the trip. Life itself. Experience the trip. Have fun.
I totally agree with that. Because like sometimes you see the destination, I want to become this and that.
Yeah.
And when you get it, actually, it's like, oh, okay. So the most important thing is the part when you going through all the ups and downs and learning and like
It's the process.
Yeah.
And you need to enjoy that, as he said.
It's
And
true.
then
What's the most important? The past, the present, and the future?
I think the present,
I think the present.
you cannot change the past, or
You can
or
learn. You learn from the
You
past.
can learn from the past.
The present is what you're living. The future is what you're anticipating. But the most important part is right now, what we're experiencing.
yeah, because
right
there's
now.
so many people out there worrying about what happened or what will happen,
Yeah.
and instead of like
There is
focusing on the moment.
this Italian philosopher. He says that based on Christianity, the past was sin, the present is redemption, the future is the promised land. It's salvation, the future. So it's pretty much this thing dictates our life in a way, because we see the past as a learning experience. We see the present as what can we do to improve, and we look at the future with hopeful eyes.
Right.
So-
Right. Right. And yeah. I'll say it one more time. Have fun.
Have fun. Yes, sir.
You gotta have fun.
Okay, so this was the really last questions. So we jumped around with questions and stuff, and it turned out fantastic. Do you believe, Don, there is any other life in this universe other than planet Earth?
Absolutely.
Yeah, he said
Yes.
yes.
Absolutely. Without a question, I believe there
There is?
is. When you think of all the universes, all the planets, and you think we're the only living creature around,
That's impossible.
I think we're pretty naive.
Yeah.
There are
Kinda.
other entities out there.
Do you think they're visiting us? I'm not sure if this the U.S. government pulling us a joke on us, or it's real aliens. What do you think? Why would they come and visit us?
Yeah, it's fun to talk about that stuff, but
Yeah.
that's
It's just
all-
conceptual. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
speculation at
yeah,
that point.
it's who knows. But are there other people out there, other things? You bet. You bet. I don't think
Maybe someday we'll find out.
Yep.
How about you, Charlie?
It's really hard. Like, it's open question because it changed.
Well, either you believe or not.
Oh,
Is there is there other life outside of?
Nobody will prove you wrong, Charlie.
Yeah, because it's,
well, I think it might be.
might be.
Yeah, I don't want to say no
So just imagine,
or yes.
you were talking about billions of stars.
Oh, absolutely.
We're talking about billions of galaxies. And you're not telling me that in another little speck of dust, in another galaxy, there is this little star that has all the perfect conditions for life, with oxygen and water, and there is no life.
This is just crazy how it all like grown over the years.
Well, because
and the life, like now all the social media, this is like crazy that you can connect from other people from other side of the world.
I think that knowledge has expanded so much.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we're running so fast.
Everything is available.
That we really don't have time to adapt. You know, like our bodies have not fully adapted to
Change.
To the clicks, to the likes of social media, you know, and at the same time, once everything you got on earth or almost is known, what do? Well, you look outward, you know, you look at the stars, I think.
I think in a lot of ways we get ahead of ourselves.
Yes, arrogance.
Yes.
Yes.
And I mean, we're out
like
here.
Like we think that we got to figure it out,
yeah.
but we're not really close.
Mm-hmm.
It's an interesting world, and we are only seeing a very small part of it. You know, it's hard to imagine what's going on. It really is.
Yeah.
But in reality, we have our little world that we live in right here. We're doing our thing, enjoying life, having fun, and that's the most important part. But recognizing there's a bigger world out here with a whole lot more stuff going on.
Yeah.
Is it going to affect us? It may or may not. There's another old saying, worry about the things you can change. Things you can't change, leave them. Not worth worrying about.
We need to tend to our gardens, small gardens,
Yep.
and pull out the weeds.
Yep.
Well,
So worry about the stuff you can change.
Well, and with this, Don, I think we can close this up.
We are in the deep end.
We're in the deep end. Is there any other thing you would like to add?
Don,
Go ahead.
Look into the camera and just say it. If
Say-
you would say it to the camera,
say
to
something
people.
to the
Say
camera, to
something
the
you
people.
want to be out there, to make people remember, to just be a memory. Look there.
I think the things we've talked about is, enjoy life, have fun, respect other people, and just, this is what it is.
Great. Thank you for
Thank you for being here. Thank you for being
an amazing person.
a great sport about it. And
We're all here to have fun.
for being open-minded. And
That's great. I mean, I hope it's not the last episode together.
You can come and you can come anytime. And if you want to talk about something else,
we didn't touch many things.
Yeah.
you can just come in and we could talk about politics. We could talk about the economy. We can talk.
There was
about
so many questions
different
I wanted
things.
to ask about the company you had, but
We can save this for another time if you're willing to sit down
Totally.
with us and have another
Well,
chat.
I will say this. I started my company back in the 60s, and it was a lot easier back then to do it than it is now.
yeah,
There's so many rules and regulations now. Things are so fast-paced with the computers and everything.
that's true.
I mean, today, it's difficult. I would think, difficult. I think it was more fun back in my day because you could do your thing, so to speak.
Yeah.
Where today, I mean, you're somewhat dictated by your computer. I mean, you can be creative, but boy, you have to have computers and stuff involved. And
It changed a lot. So
it's a different ball game.
it's so different.
ball game.
Different people, different approach. People are hustling
Yep.
so much.
Yep.
There is no emotion anymore.
No, do this, turn the crank, and this will happen.
Well, now we are in a really deep end.
You
guys have only
Well,
one thing on your mind.
Yes.
Did we get the chip full? Is the chip full?
The glass is half full.
Yeah. Thank you so much
All right,
for
guys.
coming.
Well, thank you very much.
Oh,
and
Thank
Good
you.
time.
Yeah.
I'm Ben
Charlie, Don.
and Don.
Such a
Well,
great time.
Great time, and see you guys next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll be yours again. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 get something from nothing. I sit here looking for an answer.